talking to Mad Dog about Banana Ball. You ever seen Banana Ball? If you haven't seen Banana Ball, you don't know what you're missing. It's absolutely awesome, great entertainment. It's good baseball, but also really entertaining. All eyes are on the Middle East this weekend as the remaining 20 living hostages were finally released from Gaza. Trump had his hands all over this one, and deservedly so. Take a listen to his remarks.
This is not only the end of a war. This is the end of an age of terror and death, and the beginning of the age of faith and hope and of God. It's the start of a grand concord and lasting harmony for Israel and all the nations of what will soon be a truly magnificent region. I believe that so strongly. This is the historic dawn of a new Middle East.
It went on for quite a while. He was really in his moment, and deservedly so. He brought, at least for now, peace to the Middle East, something people have been trying to do this for thousands of years. Kamala Harris decided to weigh in, attacking Israel and claiming they committed genocide. Listen to this insane woman.
Both former Secretaries of State Hillary Clinton and Antony Blinken have commended President Trump for the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. Do you agree with them? Should he be commended?
Look, I don't think that we should hold and credit where it's due. I mean, first of all, let me say about that deal, I really do hope it becomes real and that the hostages are out, that Gaza is no longer being treated with such brutality of force.
A lot of folks in your party have called what's happening in Gaza a genocide. Do you agree with that?
I think that, listen, it is a term of law that a court will decide, but I will tell you that when you look at the number of children that have been killed, the number of innocent civilians that have been killed, the refusal to give aid and support, we should all step back and ask this question and be honest about it. Yeah.
Oh, they edited out that little, in the middle of that interview, they stopped and did a couple of shots of Fireball in the middle of that. I'm just kidding. Is she drunk? I'm not sure. Donald Trump stepped up and brokered peace, yet nobody on the left wants to admit it. CNN trying to somehow make it seem like Joe Biden had something in the world to do with this. They're grasping at straws. Take a listen.
And I know the Biden administration on its way out tried to get to a deal. It did not. What do you think is the difference here in this moment that put the Trump team ahead?
Yeah, the framework that has been put into place in this 20-point plan that the Trump administration has implemented builds on the framework of the Biden administration. And of course, there are a few differences in the plan, but it was always a phase 1, 2, and 3 approach. First, a ceasefire. Then the second phase was a return of the hostages. And then the third phase was more on the governing and what does governance look like in Gaza. And there's some differences.
And that's still a question mark right now.
That is absolutely
right?
still a question.
Wait a minute. Biden, the guy who shipped money to Iran that was funneling money to Hamas to kill Jews, was set a plan in play to broker peace in the Middle East. Are you nuts? Are these people absolutely lunatics? Just give the man credit, or don't. But don't give Biden credit or Obama credit. Those two were the worst thing for peace in the Middle East. They fortified Iran, made Hamas and Hezbollah and all the lunatics who want to kill Israel and the United States, gave them backing, support. Stop. Don't give Trump credit if you hate him, but certainly let's not pretend that any Democrat in the last 20 years has anything to do with peace in the Middle East. Like CNN, Antony Blinken tried to give the Biden administration credit for Trump's ultimate success, where they failed in the Middle East. Trump responded. Take a listen to what he had to say.
Some of the top Biden administration folks who were there, like Antony Blinken, seem to want some credit for the peace deal. Blinken says it's good that President Trump adopted and built on the plan that the Biden administration developed. What do you think about that?
Everybody knows that's a joke. Look, they did such a bad job. This should have never happened. This wouldn't have even happened. That was weak leadership, terrible. And the same thing with Russia, Ukraine. If just a decent president, not a great president like me, not a great president. If a decent president was in, you wouldn't have had the Russia-Ukraine. And this is, I would say, even more so. This was bad policy by Biden and by Obama. Remember when Bibi came and he begged that you not do what they were doing with Iran? You remember that, right? Begged them. And they wouldn't even listen to him. Everything they did was the opposite what we should have done.
He's right. It's almost insulting. It is insulting. I mean, these people have, they're garbage. These are swamp dwellers. I mean, I don't know if the Republicans would do the same thing if Biden or Obama created peace. I hope they wouldn't. I hope they give credit where credit was due. It's like calling balls and strikes. Just call freaking balls or strikes, or leave the baseball field and don't call anything. Just don't call a clear strike. Call it, a ball outside the strike zone, please. One Democrat who shockingly gave Trump his flowers was Hillary Clinton. Perhaps for the first time ever, Hillary said the right thing here, actually praised Trump for getting it done. Listen.
It's a really significant first step, and I really commend President Trump and his administration, as well as Arab leaders in the region, for making the commitment to the 20-point plan and seeing a path forward for what's often called the day after.
Okay, since your moment of honesty and clarity, Hill Shady, will you now admit that Trump beat you in 2016? We'll wait to hear that answer. As usual, CNN's coverage of this historic deal has been all over the place. Network continues to talk out of both sides of its mouth, so to speak, but the truth in this case is truly hard to hide. Take a listen to this discussion about the scene in Hostage Square in Israel.
And, of course, endless applause for President Trump. Endless applause for President Trump.
And when I was there, I even saw people wearing Make America Great Again hats in that crowd over at Hostage Square.
Wolf Blitzer. At least Wolf tried to call a strike right down in the middle. Other news, Kamala Harris did a weekend interview with MSNBC. She called Trump a bunch of names and made several idiotic remarks. Listen to this dangerously insane woman who for 4 years was literally one heartbeat away, as they say, from the presidency.
For the Comey and the James indictments, your fellow Californian, Adam Schiff, is on that list. So right now he's of 2 of 3. Do you believe that these are about getting convictions, or is it actually about sending a message to anyone who might speak out against him to make clear to folks that they shouldn't do it because there might be consequences?
I think he has a vengeance campaign, which is I think really exposing the petty nature of who he is and his deep level of insecurity, that he feels that he has to use the power of the federal government and the United States Department of Justice to go after people who have disagreed with him, or as prosecutors who have used a combination of the facts and law to prosecute him.
The definition of hypocrisy is claiming other people do the same thing that you've been doing. She literally talked about using the Department of Justice to go after your enemies. They did that for 4 years or more under Trump, maybe 8 years when Trump was either running for president, or running again for president. They used the DOJ and everything he had, the lawfare that we went through, folks. One of the reasons why he won is because every American realized that if you can do it to a former president of the United States, you can do it to any one of us. You don't like where our politics lie? Maybe you're going to go after us. Maybe you can't throw us in jail, but you can certainly bankrupt us while we try and defend ourselves in legal fees. And that's what they tried to do. All right, you're amazing. Every one of you is amazing, because last time, a couple minutes ago, you rocked it. Look at this, the edge. That chart right there is the edge. Just a few weeks since we've launched, 3.5 weeks since we launched. Stacked against, we're in the orange, stacked against that blue line, which is the average new channel on YouTube. Most pages crawl like that. We came out of the box running and continued swinging. Almost 19,000 views now already. 5 times the growth of a typical startup channel. 1,200 subscribers right there. How about that chart? Real people, not Russian bots or Venezuelan bots, locking in because they feel what we're building on the edge. The edge isn't about hype, it's about discipline, risk, and the fire that separates talkers from doers. That hits you if you're built for pressure. Act right now. I'm going to ask you to do this. Open your phone. Just put your camera right at that QR code. Open it up. You press the little yellow button. You're subscribed. I will never hit you up for anything other than you get the latest videos. We're killing it, folks. We are crushing it. We want you to be part of it. Or you can always go to youtube.com/@EricBollingTheEdge. youtube.com/EricBollingTheEdge. Every single click, every sub means a lot to us, to this movement. We'll be right back.